I mean, it's pretty awesome because I think I'm the 6th state champ for the guys at least, and I know there's 2 other girls state champions. But the fact that the school's been open for like not that too long of a level of time, but we've had like a lot of wrestlers that come through the program. To be one of those guys, it means a lot. It hasn't really like hit me at all, like anything crazy yet, because like I said in past interviews, I already knew I had the capability to be a state champ. I always knew I was going to be a state champ. So, I mean, I'm just trying to stay humble about it and not let it go to my head. And it definitely means something though. Like it's really cool to be a part of it and just to be able to be a kind of a role model for future wrestlers. Yeah, so definitely my journey started off really rough. I had the pleasure of being underneath Kyle Bounds as my coach ever since I came in as a freshman. He just came back when I was a freshman, and he's obviously without a doubt the best, if not one of the best technicians within the state. Being a 3-time state champion, a national champion. So to get technique from that guy is amazing. When I first came in as a freshman, it was rough. I had a lot of hard training partners. It's probably the toughest year Union ever had. We ended up taking, I think, 3rd in state that year. But I remember just getting beat up every single day by Tommy Strassenberg, JJ Talavera, Danny Snedeker, and then wrestling my teammate at that time, Six Buck. We grinded there every single day, and they made me really tough that year. And the coaching staff was really invested in me. I'd say my number one coach, besides Kyle Bounds, is Tyler Woolridge. I'd say he saw something in me that a lot of other coaches didn't see when I first started. I was really heavy on my feet. I was a slow wrestler. I had decent technique, but I wasn't that tough. But he stuck with me. He continued to coach me throughout my 4 years of high school wrestling. Never gave up on me. And, it ended up working out towards the end. He was my coach in my corner along with Kyle Bounds. But, this last year, they've definitely invested a lot more into me. Junior Godino, previous state champion, came back and trained with me a lot. And he beat me up some of those days. Him and Kyle Bounds would do this little bait and switch, I like to call it. They would, Bounds would train with me the entire practice. We would just be sweating and he'd get me really exhausted. And then Junior would come in fresh on me and just try to whoop the floor with me. But we had a lot of fun. They definitely helped me out. Without those 2 guys and my coach Woolley, I probably would never have been able to win a state championship because they really got me ready to go this year.
You said wrestling's certainly a sport you could just give up when things aren't going well. So what kept you going and pushing?
Definitely, I'd say my family. I come from a family with a lot of wrestlers. I have 4 uncles. They were all wrestlers in Battleground. So there's a bit of a family name behind it. And they would always come to support me. My dad's always supported me. And my dad's been he definitely is somebody I wrestled for a lot. People tell you shouldn't wrestle for other people, but I definitely wrestled for my dad because he's always been a great coach. He never really coaches me either though, but he's kind of standoffish, but he supports me. I see so many parents who try to wrestle through their kids or they'll freak out if their kids lost. But my dad's always been supportive. So I thought of him a lot. I also thought about Merle Crockett. Like I said before, I love Merle. He's basically like a 3rd grandfather, He's always helped me through the sport. And like I said, I'm still wrestling with him right now. But I definitely thought about him a lot. And, like I said, I just had fun. So many kids, even this past week I've gone to practice, there's no older kids there for me to practice with because they all think they need this break after state's over. And that's because they're just not having fun. They just got to get back in the room and just continue to have fun. Because if you're out of that room for that long, you're not going to get any better. So you might as well go in there and have fun.
How quickly were you on the mats after
so I couldn't go Sunday. I was going to go to practice Sunday, the day after the tournament. But my entire team was up at the state open tournament. So I had to wait. All the way till Tuesday, and it killed me, man. Because, if you have practice after every single day, it's a way to vent off, the frustration throughout your day. So I was a little crabby at home a little, but I wasn't like a problem. But, yeah, I could notice it within myself that I needed to get that out of me. So when I got back on that mat Tuesday, I was so happy just to get out there and just let go of my frustration, have fun. Especially with the little kids up at Southwest Washington where I train. They're so tough. I came back in there, and they knew I was state champion, and I had 5 kids attacking me at once, trying to take me down, so they took down the state champ, but they're awesome. So I was so happy to get back on the mat Tuesday.
What advice would you give to young wrestlers coming up now about what it takes to be a state champion?
Honestly, that's a hard question because there's so many different things. I mean, you obviously got to focus on your technique. You gotta buy into the process, but you just gotta have fun because if you're out there wrestling for other people, if you're wrestling for your coaches, if you're wrestling for your parents, and if you're just not really in it for yourself, you're not going to get very far. So I just say, just have fun with it, and just buy into it and just think about all the times you failed and just think about, all the people who have helped you get there. Because I'd say number one thing for me that helped me get there was just thinking about my dad and Merle Crockett and Tyler Woolridge and Kyle Bounds and just thinking about all those guys and saying, not only do I want to wrestle for myself and make myself better because I was having fun, but I want to make them proud. So I mean, you gotta have a sense of pride when you're going into it.